What podcast reviewer 37 describes as an indiscriminate hellish ride that I would not wish on my worst enemy. The industry's elite have said time and again, man, fuck those guys. Get ready, if your ears had butts, they'd about to be fucked. Welcome to the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show.
Oh yeah. Start with what? The
belly button, dude.
Okay, all right. We'll open with the belly button butthole. The belly button butthole connection. Welcome to this episode of the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show. We're actually going to talk about butts on this one, so.
The podcast where your butthole itches.
Anyways, my name's Josh. I'm here today with Adam.
Assalamu alaikum.
So alaikum salam, my brother. Oh man,
We probably run a few. We went over a few followers for that one.
yeah, we did because we have one listener from the Islamic Republic of Iran. So,
that's right, yeah.
You know, we're reaching out to that guy or lady. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, it could be a lady. Doesn't tell me.
You never know.
But
Right.
they listen. Anyways, I'm Josh. He's Adam. Before we get into the topic at hand here, go to GameRageMagazine.com. You can hear all of our other podcasts. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter /X at Game Rage Mag, YouTube, Game Rage Magazine. It's the easiest way to find all of our shit. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on
Or not.
Instagram. Or not. Do whatever the fuck you want. I'm just throwing it out there in case you want to fucking do it. And you should go, probably, if you like music, go listen to the All Gas No Trash podcast, conveniently located everywhere else we fucking talked about. So, the first thing we're gonna fucking talk about is the connection of why, when you stick your finger into your belly button, right, digging for gold, as they say, checking your, I call it checking your oil. I mean, that's more applicable when you stick your finger in your butthole and you fucking smell it. I mean, when you got to just make sure, because if it doesn't smell right, then that's how you know, oh shit, I got to go to the doctor. At least that's what I fucking use. Is I've never, you know, even when I had COVID, it didn't smell wrong. So I mean, like, technically nothing was wrong with me. I was fine. If you stick your finger in your butthole and it does not smell, it smells not normal. And now listen, maybe it doesn't smell good, but you know what it smells like. It always should smell about the same. That's checking your oil, all right? But anyways, when you do it with your belly button, why is it when you go all the way back to the wall, when you go walls deep in your belly button, why does your butthole fucking tingle?
If it's the other way around,
Or
does your arm like flail?
you know that thing where you hit the reflex on your knee and your thing goes up? Like,
Yeah.
if you do that, does your fucking head go fly back? Or if you do that, does your ball rub? Like, does your balls like link up or something? I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
So I actually, because we were talking about this last week and we were like, oh man, that would be such a great topic to talk about on the BFA
It's
show.
fucking random because I was just sticking my finger in my belly button.
And he's sitting, he goes, why does my fucking butthole tingle? And I was like, what? And then I was like, and then I did it and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Why does that do that? That's fucking weird. And so I just decided, since we were going to talk about this, why don't we just look into it? And so,
Can I just say something real quick?
yeah.
If grand design actually exists, like if creationism actually exists, dude, it's a very odd design to create this feature, if you want to call it that, dude. So fucking weird.
It is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of. But it's real. That's a real thing. We're not the only ones who feel this. Now, where it does vary is some people feel it in their ball sack, that tingling. Some of them feel it in their ball sack, and some of them also feel it at the tip of their dick too.
No way.
Yes, that's like the most common one. I think the butthole one is like least common. Ball sack, well, dick tip and vagina is where it's like the most common.
Way.
So I was like, what the fuck does this mean? I went on several subreddits, went through many threads, people of varying ages, heights, weights, races, fuck whatever, varied the numbers. Most everybody feels this. So
feels this where? Mostly here?
no,
Or you said
mostly in the dick tip or vagina.
The genitalia.
Yeah, the butthole one is number 2, and then the ball sack was like number 3. There was not that many people. That was probably the rarest. But I will say it's there was a guy in one of the threads that was like, oh, if you do that and you feel that, because they were saying that basically there's like a nerve in there, and it's like if you have nothing wrong with you, it's just, a cross wiring of like your nerves or something. Like you poke that and the nerve doesn't go anywhere because it's in your like kind of stomach area, so it activates the feeling in your butthole or your dick tip, because it's like your brain going like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. There shouldn't be any nerves.
Raped?
Yeah, there shouldn't be any nerves there. But fuck it, we'll just send it to the 2 places that have all the nerves, which is the butthole and the dick tip. All right, like, so we'll just make one of those go off, and fucking they'll know something's like, hey, you shouldn't do that. Like, you shouldn't stick your fucking finger in your belly button that far, buddy. All right, warning, you're scraping the bottom here. So someone also did say that it is a sign that you have an umbilical hernia, which is essentially the wall right behind your belly button is just slightly torn, like a hernia, right? Now, so when you're doing that, you're actually poking your intestines. Like, you're actually poking your fucking intestine. And the theory of your body not knowing what to do kind of makes sense, because nothing's supposed to be touching your intestines. So your brain would have no idea how to make you feel what that's like. So it's like, fuck it, dick tip or fucking butthole. That's what it's getting. So I was just like, what the fuck is, so I looked up what an umbilical hernia was, obviously, and it was that. And then I'm like, how the fuck could you get this? And basically, I think everyone on Earth has an umbilical hernia because the causes of it vary greatly. You can get it from heavy lifting. If you cough, you can get it from just coughing. You can get it from pregnancy, which is probably why women fucking have it or feel it. And you can also get it by just being fat. So, I think everyone fucking has one, and that's why this exists. But it's not a tear that's like super serious. Some people's maybe turns into, because it's literally very small. Like, it's a very small thing that is torn, and it just stops. I guess it just doesn't fucking keep growing for the most part. And then some people, if you keep doing crazy shit, it'll keep going. So if you stick your finger in your belly button and you don't feel anything, that means you probably don't have an umbilical fucking hernia. So I don't know, man. Maybe we should all go to the doctor and get fucking checked out. I mean, listen, I'm not in favor of going to the doctor, but I just think it's very strange that your butthole fucking tingles when you do that. And now that I've done that, I can't stop doing it. Like, I keep doing it every couple of days. I'm like, and I'm like, oh, fuck it. Because, like, it doesn't really feel good either. Like, it kind of hurts. Like,
it's like when you get shocked for the first time, you're like, fuck, that got hurt. But then you keep doing it. Oh, I kind of like this.
Oh, I kind of like this now. And now I think I'm gay. So
what the fuck?
No, that was the funny thing. That was the funny thing to say. Oh yeah, I poked my belly button enough, I turned gay. So yeah, so that was pretty much it about that. I did the deep dive on that.
Riveting.
Yeah, I couldn't fucking believe that. And then the other thing we were talking about, Adam was mentioning to me last week, right before the conversation about the buttholes, was, man, marriage just must suck so bad.
Yeah, dude, I never see anybody fucking happy, dude. I never see anybody fucking happy when they get married. They hardly ever want to see this significant other They have all these obligations that they have. Like whatever your weekend was, fuck all that. It's whatever you're doing with your significant other. And then on top of that, there's the sex part, which if that doesn't go well, then your marriage is basically done.
Then you're fucked, yeah.
And then it's all the intimacy shit, dude. Maybe you don't want to share everything with your significant other, but they're forcing you because it's like, well, we have to build that trust and we have to do it because we love each other. What if you don't want to do that?
I mean, then you just got to be a man and put your foot down and don't do that. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. And
there's more to that, obviously. I'm just thinking just fucking the randomest shit, but whatever.
Generalizing and whatnot. But I will say this, as someone who is married, I don't think marriage is for everyone. That's something that I have learned throughout mine and Katie's marriage, is that it's not for everyone. Pretty much every friend group, or well, not every friend, almost every friend that we know that was married is getting divorced. Hasn't lasted. So
do you think that's because people have the freedom to do that, to get divorced, and also they see everybody else doing it? Or it's because the marriage is so bad that they opt out, that it's not worth it to stick around? Because that's what you sign up for when you get married, right? Is that you, till death do us part.
Yeah.
The good times and the bad and everything in between.
Yeah.
That's what nobody wants to stick around for even 2 or 3 years to find out if it's going to get any better. Or maybe I'm making that up, but like, I don't know, man. It just makes me wonder, like, why do people even bother entertaining getting married if they know? I mean, that's one of the outcomes, but it's like one of the more likely, the most likely to happen, I suppose. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. My theory is that most people haven't evolved past their high school mentality. And you remember, like, well, at least when I was back in high school, it's like you go from like, oh, you're with this person for like a week and you fucking love them already and you're saying all this shit. It's that weird. It's like this weird, immature fucking thing that, yes, when you're in high school and you're in those teenage to like 13 to like maybe 19, maybe even 20 for some people. Hell, I think most people now they're in their 40s and they're still acting like this. But people just get that, they can't get out of that mentality of, oh, I've been with this person for a week, I love them, and I'm deeply and madly in love with them, right? And if you can't objectively look at something, then you're gonna end up in some bullshit that you really don't want. Like, again, marriage is different than in high school. It was when you're dating somebody, it's easy. You can just fucking stop talking. You can just ghost them. You can just change your phone number, move town, leave town. I mean, there's plenty of ways you can never have to see this motherfucker again. But if you don't realize that because you've been with somebody for 6 months and then you just get fucking married, and then now here 5 years down the line, you're like, oh my God, I fucking hate this person, but the only reason I've been around is because we're married. And then eventually it just becomes too much and then you just leave.
But then, if anything, there's more chance to succeed with marriage because people, before they even get married, they share the same space, like the same living quarters with one another. So it's like you already tested out
Not a lot of people do that though now.
But I'm saying that the times that it works, like you already know how it's gonna go when you live in the same space and you share the same finances and everything. Like you kind of have an idea, right? So that more or less prepares you for what marriage will become.
Yeah.
So theoretically, like you should be better off than people in the past that went in blind. They got, let's say like the 1950s, that people would end up together, buy a house together, not knowing what would entail, like all the things that would come with it.
Yeah.
People are more prepared now and they're more likely to get divorced.
Yeah, well, I think we've devolved and we've evolved in some ways. So like back then in the 50s or whatever, right? You'd get married to somebody and then like shit, you are stuck with them. Divorce was like not an option back then. It was very rare that would happen. And it's like, fuck, you're with somebody, now you're stuck with them. And they weren't living together prior to, because that was frowned upon back then. Then you get into like the 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe even like the 90s. And people are sort of, they're moving out. They're living together hopefully they're living together before they get together. Nowadays with like our generation, there's a lot of people that like can't afford to move in together, right? They are living somewhere else with some other roommates. They can't afford to have just the two of them living together. They got to have 4 fucking roommates or whatever. So maybe people aren't necessarily pulling the trigger on that until they actually get married and then they buy the house, and then they're like doing it in reverse almost. Like backwards again, like we were in the 50s, but this time divorce is prevalent. It's commonly accepted throughout society. Hell, there's a whole industry dedicated to divorce. So I think now it's devolved in that way. And I think people are also just fucking stupid. I think that
It's possible. I mean, shit, man. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I was just gonna say, me and Katie, I was like, okay, listen, before we get married, we need to have lived together for at least a year, minimum 12 months, because you need to know if you can put up with this. Because I know I can probably pretty much put up with anything, but you gotta know if you can deal with this fucking nonsense. And what if you, and again, what if you don't like the way somebody fucking breathes when they sleep? What if it's like the worst fucking thing you've ever heard and now you can never sleep again? You shouldn't be together. That's just it. This is the bottom line. I don't care how much you like them. If that's something that's going to affect you, you should not be together. That's it. So I said at least 12 months. I think we were together like a little over a year and a half. Like we were moved in. We lived together for like almost 2 years before we decided to get married. And that was just to be sure. Okay, cool. We did this whole 18 months of like, we got shared bank account. We fucking did, we were living together. We had dogs. We had this. We got everything, all the finances and everything. So it's like, cool. Now we know what that's like. So sure, let's go ahead and move on to the next step, which is getting married. And I'm also lucky in the fact that she literally is my fucking soulmate. Like I believe that very few people can put up with me just in general. And the fact that she as a female is able to put up with me is astounding. I can't even fucking imagine. Especially because on certain issues we are so far apart on agreeing.
Yeah, that's evident.
Yeah, but that's what I don't know. That's what makes it That's what makes it fucking interesting. I don't want to fucking be married to somebody who's just gonna be like my little mini me and just fucking echoing all the same shit that I fucking say. I don't want that. That's no fun. That's boring. I want someone who's gonna fucking challenge me and say shit and like, not in the negative way, but like obviously like when we do on the podcast and stuff, like, oh, I can take the other side of what she wants to say or what have you. So to me, that was like the next logical step, which is why we did it. And, back then, yeah, you want kids and you want to get a house, you want to do all this stuff, right? And sure, maybe those things aren't, like if I want those things and she wants those things and I look at it and say, okay, I don't think that there's anyone else that I had been with in my life at that time that I thought, oh yeah, this is somebody for sure that I know I could spend like the rest of my life with. So that's why I was like, fuck it. I got lucky. I found the one, as they fucking say it. And that's a wrap. We live together. Now we know for sure this is legit. Locking it down. Let's fucking go. And now we're on this ride until one of us dies. So fucking, it's the only ride you can't get off until someone dies. And for some people, that's not for them. That's okay. It's not for everybody. I love my wife. Listen, she affords me the time to be able to do all this bullshit and get this thing going. I guarantee you, if I was with anybody else, I'd be getting like, why are you doing this 3 nights a week? That's 3 nights that we could be spending together doing things or blah, blah, blah. She's like, hey, bitch, we're married. You ain't going nowhere. Like, we got fucking till one of us dies. We got plenty of time. Yeah, if you want to fuck off for this for a couple of years and take 3 nights a week to get this thing to where it can be so you don't have to go work your slave job anymore, fuck yeah, let's go. Because then guess what? How much more time I'm going to... Yeah, we're going to sacrifice a couple of years maybe.
Just to have more free time.
To then be like, oh, in 2 years or 3 years from now, we'll have all the free time. Because while you're at work and Chloe's at school, I'll be in here during the daytime doing this shit. Then fucking, So that's really what it takes is somebody that's like willing to also evolve with you, because like I've changed. I'm not the same dude I was when we got married almost 10 years ago. I'm not the same dude. Well, what is it? We got married in 2017, so this is 2024. So 7 years. So it'll be 8 years next year. I'm not the same dude I was.
Hopefully you're not.
Well, no, we started dating in 2013, so we've been together for 11 years now. Like, I'm not the same dude I was when I was fucking that. So you have to also be with somebody who's also willing to evolve with you, because that's another thing. If you leave behind your partner or your spouse in the evolution, you're gonna also have conflict, because if your partner's still fucking got a high school mentality and you are like big brain fucking 4D chess ideas now, they're not going to get it. And they're just going to be like, oh, you're not spending time. Like I said, you're not spending time with me. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. So you got to fucking have somebody that's willing to evolve with you, I guess. So it's not for everyone. There's a lot of moving parts to this shit. I'm not going to lie. There are a lot of moving parts. It's not all fucking gravy train.
I'm sure.
There are fucking times. Yeah, we argue about shit. And we fucking have crazy, you fucking want to murder each other fights. And that's also normal. I think that's a sign of a healthy fucking relationship. I think if you're not doing that, you're fucking holding it in and you're going to blow up on each other. Like, and then that's what's going to cause a divorce.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm cool with it. I love it. It's great. It's wonderful. I'm just glad I don't have to go fuck around with fucking trying to impress anybody anymore.
Like, who the fuck has to impress anybody? Fucking dating, dude. If you're not yourself, then fuck that.
No, I'm saying, like, listen, if you're trying to get laid, all right, you're trying to have sex, trying to fuck, you gotta fucking put on a mask, bro. I can't be this. All right, I gotta pretend to be somebody completely different.
Dude, you know what fucking bothers me?
What?
Well, multiple things, but fuck, I don't know which one to go with first, because I did want to go on about the part about I wanted to ask this question because we come from a different generation than the current one, right?
Yeah.
Which is Gen Z that are technically now adults and beyond.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a generational thing, or rather, what do you think Gen Z lacks that? Nah, I'll just say it. I was gonna try to pose it as an open-ended question.
Yeah.
But I just want to go with do you think, because
all
fuck
right.
it.
Let's hear it.
It's just more direct.
Yeah.
Do you think that social media and technology has contributed to people's short attention spans, and also the fact that they delay gratification instantly? So yeah, the gratification of getting married, or the satisfaction of getting married, or the joy you get from being married in the first 2 years that's like the honeymoon phase, right?
Right.
Do you think it's so much worse now because of the fact that people have short attention spans and also can't go with inconvenience long enough, that also contributes to divorce?
Yeah, no, I do think that plays probably one of the major factors in why I don't know if Gen Z is quite there yet with getting divorced, because I don't think a lot of them have gotten married in the first place because of that specific reason.
Yeah.
Because I can go look at your shit online and I can pretty much find out exactly who you are and what you stand for, and basically all the things that I would have to figure out about you to date, like while dating, I'm getting them all at once instead of maybe trickled over time. And then that's when, now there's benefits to that, because if you don't like something about someone, like, if you don't like that they don't like gay marriage, let's just say, right? That's an issue. And you say, if they're against gay marriage, I could never be with somebody that's against gay marriage, right? Let's just say that's what it is. You'd know that immediately, instead of having to wait maybe 10 or 15 dates in to find out that they don't like that. But by that time, you've already spent 20, 30, maybe even 40 hours with them. and you've gotten to know them about other things and like, oh man, maybe you could put that aside and be like, oh, you know what? Okay, maybe I can like, because all these other good things about them, I could like put that one thing that I always said no, maybe I could put that aside, right? They don't have that. Like you don't get that when you're just doing this instant, you need this instant gratification of like, I need to know everything about this person right now. Also, I think the advent of OnlyFans has also fucking ruined it for them as well, because now you can just pay someone to give you the sexual side of it.
The girlfriend experience.
Yeah, you can just give some $20 and you can get that. Why would you fuck around with rejection? Well, no OnlyFans girl is gonna not take your money. Yeah. The rejection rate is 0, all right, on OnlyFans. Like, if you're paying, they're giving you exactly what you're paying for.
It's like hell, dude. It's everybody's welcome in hell.
Yeah, exactly. And so they're not. Why would you fuck around with dating somebody and having to maybe spend money on like going to a restaurant, going to see a movie, picking them up, doing all this bullshit just to. Like when you could just get what you were looking for anyways, like, you know what I'm saying, on OnlyFans. You can get the emotional connection from OnlyFans as well. So that's where they are handicapped. Because a lot of dudes, that's the easy dopamine. That's what it is, dopamine. That's what I was looking for about the cat. That's the dopamine hit, is getting the instant gratification of it. That's what gets people caught up. And that's why I think there's a lot of Gen Z people that are just gonna not they're never going to be married. They're never going to be in anything. Not because they don't necessarily want to, but because they kind of, why would they? Why would you? Like, if you already got it, you're getting everything you would get out of whatever you're paying some girl online or fuck, whatever. Why would you even bother? So, hell, if that existed when I was fucking, maybe I'd be doing that. Maybe I would have never went down this because I'm also lazy. So, the difference was I didn't have that option. Like, our generation didn't have that option. To just pay some fucking girl. I mean, yeah, like, well, I guess you could go fucking find a streetwalker somewhere and fucking get your rocks off that way, but we couldn't, it wasn't accessible at our fingertips 24 hours a day. So, yeah, I guess that was a long-winded answer of saying, yes, I think that it does affect.
I think it's somewhat frightening as well that when you go on the dating apps, that you know how many people are within a city that you consider dateable, and then you can cut that number in half because of one thing that you don't like about them.
Yeah.
And then you can cut that number half again based on the number of things you don't like.
Yeah.
And then you really find out, like, holy shit, I went through an entire city
and
realize there's no match. But on the opposite end, if you went into a bar, and not that you necessarily have to meet somebody at a bar, or maybe it's a coffee shop or a library or anything, that you're giving somebody else the opportunity to get to know them, and you might even like them more, not having it all in front of you, that you probably might be more accepting or open, more tolerant, as opposed to just having everything out in the open. Like, oh, I only want these certain things. Like, that's fucking wild, because you already know out of the gate what somebody is based on their profile, but it also doesn't give them enough info to the point that it's like you're not getting the whole picture, but this is enough for you to write somebody off. Like, I think dating people just happenstance, like meeting them at some bar or whatever, might be I don't know. I think it's the better way to go.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, the plus sides of the whole internet thing too is the dating apps or whatever, is that like you can literally talk to hundreds of fucking people in a day and go through a ton of people. And whereas, like, I mean, let's just say like my batting average was like 50. All right, let's say my batting average was 0.5 or 0.050. Okay, it was 50. So for every 10 times I go to bat, I'm only successful half of one. All right, one half. All right, that's all I'm successful for. Okay, that's and that's probably a pretty accurate fucking number.
For guys.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because some guys it's even less. Some guys it's maybe a little more. No one is batting above fucking 200. There's no fucking way.
The Mendoza line.
Yeah, there's no way that anyone is batting is successful 2 times out of 10 when they go out.
Unless you're a Giga Chad.
Yeah, that's true. If you're a Giga Chad, well then that's but I'm talking for the average normie fucking dude that's out there. You're probably batting between .025 and Maybe you're betting 0.025, maybe to 100. Maybe that's where you're at. All right, if you're a normie, you maybe can get there. If you got like, I don't know, decent game and maybe like you're in a town where there's not a lot of dudes, like, yeah, you can bet higher. But generally speaking, if you go to a bar and let's just say there's 40 people there and 50% of them are females, you have a 1 in 20 chance maybe that you're gonna find one chick that would be willing to maybe talk to you even.
And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix.
It's over for you. You're done. When Perk Angle comes in, you ain't getting no pussy. Perk Angle is the pussy slayer, all right? He is fucking every chick in that bar. So you're done. You might as well just kill yourself at that point. So, but if I can go online and I can talk to 1,000 chicks in a 5-mile radius, all at the same time, I can send them the same fucking message. Hey, what's going on? Hey, oh, I like, whatever. I don't know. Make some shitty pickup line, copy and paste it and send it 1,000 times. The odds of you getting, if you got 0.05 of that out of 1,000, that's 50 fucking chick. That's 50 girls that messaged you back. So it's that, it's like the inverse ninja law or whatever.
But okay, hold on a second. Because
right.
if you end up doing that, that doesn't necessarily get you in the door. Whereas if you dated in person, if you just happen to meet somebody, you're already in.
That gets you the likelihood of more opportunity because it's easier to do. Where if you go to that bar, there's only 20 chances you're gonna have, right?
Yes.
And you only need to strike the iron hot one time. You only need the lightning to strike once. But the likelihood of that happening is very fucking low. If you go online and you throw 1,000 messages out to 1,000 different girls, if you still are successful that 0.050 times, that's like I said, that's 50 fucking girls that are now you're in the door. If they message you back, you're in the door. Now it's time for you to seal the deal. And again, even if your sealing the deal is successful, another 0.050 on that, then you'll get one fucking girl that'll be like, oh yeah, let's meet up or let's go do something. Whereas if I went to a bar and I was like, oh hey, what's up? Oh hey, can I buy you a drink? Go fuck yourself. And like, okay, cool. I don't even have to hear that because you just get ignored if you're online, right?
Yeah, I mean,
They just don't even respond.
You know what's wild as well?
What?
Some people prefer meeting their boyfriends through Discord.
Through Discord?
Yeah, that they get to know somebody well enough through gaming. And maybe it so happens to be they enjoy the same game and all that, and they're able to communicate with one another, that they feel more comfortable getting to know somebody through an extended period of time, that they consider that they're dating material.
I guess that's not surprising because if you look back at like, you remember like WoW, like World of Warcraft, people would get married in that fucking game, like and also for real in real life and have never met each other before and have full on like lives in WoW. So I guess that's not surprising that people would do that. But I don't know. That's just, again, that's the other thing too, is I kind of think that people who like the same shit are doomed to fail in any sort of relationship.
Because that's like the whole well, I don't know if it's the precedent, but it's the whole basis of their marriage. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's like this thing, or if we like playing video games, like I feel like that's where shit goes awry, is when there are too many similarities. And if I look at all of our friends who are married and getting divorced, that's the common denominator that I see, is there are too many similarities. It's not that there are similarities, it's that there's too many of them. And there are differences. Are you fucking taunting him?
No, I was just mirroring whatever he was doing.
Oh. Yeah, hi, Rexy. Oh, look at that. I still went faster as soon as I said his name. He's an idiot. But anyways. Yeah, I don't know. Marriage it's okay. It's great. For me, it's great. For some people, it sucks, which I guess means it's just okay if you average those out.
It's poggers.
It's just I mean, it's PogChamp. It's PogChamp for me.
I know this is. I'm gonna find a different way to phrase it because I don't actually want to say how I want to say it.
All right.
but there are a certain group of people that would say that sex is poggers. That's such a great phrase, dude.
It is. It is, man.
Holy shit, the sex was poggers.
Man.
Imagine if you told a girl that.
I tell Katie that every time we get done having sex. I'm like, hey, that was poggers. And she looks at me and she goes, shut the fuck up. And then I go, you got it, boss.
How long did this episode go?
35 minutes, so we're good.
That is poggers.
That is PogChamp. Anyways, all right, well, that's the end of this one. So, again,
Poke your belly button, see what end hurts.
see what, hey, you know what? Fucking comment on any of the social medias. Say butthole, dick tip, or snatch. All right, those are the three options.
Genitalia or butthole.
Yeah, and let us know. And we want to do it. We're gonna do a poll. I should do a poll on fucking Twitter. When you poke your belly button wall, what tingles? Your butthole or your dick tip or your vagina? Please choose. That's what I'm gonna do. Anyways, if you want to follow us on that, at Game Rage Mag on Twitter /X. If you want to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. Go to GameRageMagazine.com. You can hear all the fucking podcasts. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official. You can go listen to the All Gas No Trash podcast. And it's very convenient to listen to on YouTube. That's right, YouTube. Go ahead and YouTube Game Rage Magazine.
YouTube.
Indeed, you'll find all the good shit. So with that, we're done. We'll catch you on the next one when we have probably some also ridiculous fucking topic.
This has been the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show. Thanks for listening. Don't forget, subscribe and like on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. Also on Twitter /X at Game Rage Mag. Also visit our website, www.GameRageMagazine.com, for a host of other podcasts and more. Thanks for listening.